Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to give you a Raw review. This Raw happened on February 17th, 2014. 6 to 8. This is the big go-home show for the Elimination Chamber. And we get JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. I thought Raw was an average show. They had good matches. They did good stuff to build up the pay-per-view, but I think it just felt like an average show to me. But that mainly could have been because I kind of felt like shit when I was talking about Raw. And I miss John Cena came out and cut a promo, talked about how he's gonna become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And then he talked about how Randy Orton's on like a losing streak. Losing to Daniel Bryan, John Cena, how he has like the least momentum going into the chamber. And I was thinking, wouldn't Christian have the least momentum since Randy Orton was since Randy Orton only could beat Christian? But I guess John Cena forgot about that. Then Cesaro come out and brags about how he beat Randy Orton. I like how they're letting Cesaro talk now when he comes out, so it looks like so that way Zepko is not completely talking for Jack Swagger, because I think Cesaro does have some good mic skills. Now, actually, I have to mention too. I don't even think I mentioned this when I did my SmackDown review, that they changed up some of the names for the wrestlers now. They changed Antonio Cesaro's name to just Cesaro now, and Big E Langston's name to just Big E. I'm fine with that. It's not like a big change because everyone would call Cesaro, would just say Cesaro for short, so why not just change it to Cesaro? And Big E, kind of an awkward name to have instead of Big E Langston, but I would always call him Big E, so it really doesn't bother me. He talked about how he was going to get in the chamber. I think Sheamus came out next and said that he'd blow kick everybody right now, but he was saving it for Randy Orton later on tonight. And then Christian comes out and says, I know there was and says, I wish you had saved that blow kick for Dean Ambrose on Friday. But he's like, but I know that was an accident, but when I lay you out with the kill switch on at the Elimination Chamber, it won't be an accident. And then Randy Orton comes out and talks about how John Cena can't beat Randy Orton when it counts, which he's done before. He talks about the legendary battles that Randy Orton and Christian have had, Randy Orton's won every single one of those battles. He talked about something with Sheamus, but I don't remember what. Maybe like he's gonna lay him out later on tonight or something. And then Cesaro said they underestimated him, but that's not gonna happen again. Daniel Bryan comes out and says everybody's catchphrase like the champ is here. Randy Orton, I don't even think he has a catchphrase. One more match, fella, stuff like that. And he says that this is his last chance to go to WrestleMania as world champion. He's not going to blow it. And then Kane comes out and says, since Randy Orton and Sheamus have to have a match, we're going to have Christian versus Daniel Bryan and Cesaro versus John Cena. And we get Daniel Bryan versus Christian. Daniel Bryan and Kane are having a stare down. And before the match starts, Christian attacks Daniel Bryan. He destroys his shoulder, throws it into the barricade, into the steps, and it looked like a Christian heel turn here. So Christian may be a heel now. That could be the case. I'm not really sure about that. Or maybe this was just that to show that Christian is kind of a heel with Daniel Bryan. I really don't know. The match started though. It was a great match. Christian just dominated parts of that match because Daniel Bryan had his shoulder injured. He really worked on the shoulder. He would usually do a tornado DDT, but he said he did a tornado DDT and he held his arm down to the mat. Daniel Bryan did the suicide dive and it worked pretty good. But then eventually Christian goes for and Daniel Bryan tried to go for there was a part where Christian was punching Daniel Bryan and Daniel Bryan got him into a half Boston Crab, but his shoulder hurt too much so he couldn't keep the hold in. Daniel Bryan tried to go for the yes lock, but his shoulder hurts so bad he can't do anything about it. And then Christian went for the kill switch, but Daniel Bryan counted into a roll up and got the win. And then Kane, because Kane was watching the match, Kane says that he has another match and it's against himself. So we get Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Kane just kind of squashed Bryan. He didn't like completely squash him, but Bryan got some moves in there. But Kane dominated this part of the match too. He really worked over the shoulder that Christian was working on. And then eventually, Kane just goes berserk. He holds Daniel Bryan's shoulder at the post and causing a disqualification. And then he just continues hurting, and Daniel Kane's like, yeah, I got disqualified. So, continuing the feud with Daniel Bryan and the Authority. That's pretty much all I have to say here. So, I guess I can like this because I like the fact that Daniel Bryan was on the show throughout. I think it was like on the show for 45 minutes. We get the Shield interview, and Renee Young asks them about the Mark Henry, and Dean Ambrose says that after he single-handedly defeated Mark Henry, and then Roman was like, "What are you talking about? You didn't beat Mark Henry. You would have lost." And he's like, "Hey, but I did the damage for when you took him out." And then they're arguing, and Seth Rollins is like, "We're gonna get on the same page for the Wyatt family." And then we get Santino Marella with Emma versus Fandango with Summer Rae. Didn't watch it. I don't even know who won. Mark Henry interview, and he says that they Shield. He's gonna induct Roman Reigns into the Hall of Pain. We get Roman. I didn't really pay attention because I knew it wasn't gonna happen. We get Roman Reigns with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Mark Henry. Roman Reigns wins with the spear. This made Roman Reigns look really strong. And then Dean Ambrose kind of had like a jelly look on, not a jelly, a jealous look on his face. So he attacked Mark Henry, and Reigns and Rollins are just laughing at him. And then the Wyatt family come on the screen. They talk, and Bray Wyatt says like cuts a weird promo. I don't remember what he said. And then the Roman Reigns says, "Why don't you come out here and say something about it?" So then the Wyatt family come out. You think they're gonna get into it, but they didn't. They left, and I thought that was fine. I think they're gonna wait till the pay-per-view until they really get into it. I liked how they normally they don't say anything when they go on the screen, but I like how they said something here. We get Cody Rhodes and Goldust backstage. We find out that it's gonna be Cody on the kickoff. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. Guess that shouldn't be too bad. So I thought that Goldust and Cody Rhodes were like doing this cheap thing where they were trying to get this toy, the toy win that they usually do, and I thought Ryback and Curtis Axel were gonna come make fun of them, but that didn't happen. Bad News Barrett just came and said, "I got some bad news," and destroyed the win. And yeah, it was just dumb. I thought they should have done Ryback and Curtis Axel instead, but they didn't do it. I don't know. We get Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter versus Kofi Kingston. Jack Swagger wins with the ankle lock. Then Big E comes out for his match. We get Big E versus Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. One thing I noticed about this match is Drew McIntyre going to leave 3MB soon? Because I noticed he wasn't wearing the 3MB attire. He was wearing his old attire. So I wonder if he's leaving 3MB or it was just like a one-time thing. I thought Drew McIntyre was going to leave 3MB, but that could be just a coincidence that happened. During the match, Zeb Colter has a microphone and he's saying stuff to distract Big E, and saying like, "Oh, you suck" and stuff. Like saying stuff to distract him. But it doesn't work. He hits the big ending on Drew McIntyre for the win. Yeah, we've also found out that Big E will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Jack Swagger. That's fine. I'm not really interested in the mid-card division. It should be a good match, though, I guess. We get Alexander Rusev again promo. Ron Sin in the video package. I like this. So I think next week they're going to do The Rock. And yeah. Then we get the Elimination Chamber video package. They just kind of talked about what the Chamber was, what you have to do to win and stuff. John Cena interview, he talks about the Chamber, talks about Cesaro, how the new guys have to step up against them. We get John Cena versus Cesaro with Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter at ringside. Great match. This was fantastic. Cesaro, I think, dominated 90% of this match. Cena got some moves, but Cesaro took it to Cena. I would say that Cesaro did put Cena over in a way because he made him look really strong. Cesaro ended up hitting a bunch of uppercuts. He uppercutted him on the outside. He uppercutted him in the ring. He swung him. I didn't think Cena was going to get swung, but he did. What else did Cesaro? Oh, he also suplexed Cena from the apron into the ring. That was sick. John Cena did a Hurricanrana that lift up neck breaker move he does, the Hurricanrana. And then Cesaro ends up going for the neutralizer, but Cena counters. Cena goes for the AA, Cesaro counters, and then he hits a big boot. He tries to clothesline him or something, but Cena clotheslines him, and then he like does like a backflip to lift him up for the AA and hits it for the win. I thought that was fine. John Cena, I would say Cesaro was looking pretty strong going into the Chamber. I like that he looks strong in this match. I hope they don't just misuse Cesaro after the Chamber. I hope they continue this push, or you can, or like do it after Mania. Maybe I actually think him or Roman Reigns are gonna win the Money in the Bank this year. Which would be so sick. I think most likely Roman Reigns though. Titus O'Neil interview, he's just talking down Darren Young. We find out they're gonna have a match at the Elimination Chamber. Then we get the Lost Matadors and Sin Cara versus the Wyatt family. The Wyatt family destroying throughout this match. They had a little comeback, but the Wyatt family gets the win with Bray Wyatt. Well, first Luke Harper hits the clothesline, and then Bray Wyatt hits the Sister Abigail for the win. I was expecting the Shield to come out, but that didn't happen. So yeah. And my friend actually thinks that the Shield is face now. I think they're like tweeners right now. I think the Shield's gonna be the face going into this match, and the Wyatt family is gonna be more of the heels, if that makes sense. Billy Gunn versus Jey Uso with Road Dogg and Jimmy Uso on commentary. We found out that the New Age Outlaws are gonna defend the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Usos. Billy Gunn goes for the Fameasser and Jey rolls him up for the win. Afterwards, Jimmy super kicks Billy Gunn, and Jey takes them out takes both of the New Age Outlaws out with the flying move. Sheamus interview. I don't really remember what he said. Then we get Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I thought this was a great match. Orton threw Sheamus to the steps. He threw him shoulder first into the post. Randy Orton did the back body drop. He would usually do it on the apron. No, not the apron. The barricade. But instead he did it through the announce table, which was sick. And then Sheamus was able to get back in the win. He gave Randy Orton 3 Irish backbreakers. He was setting him up for the blow kick, but the Shield came out. I thought this was random, but I don't know. So then Cena, Christian, Cesaro, all the Elimination Chamber participants started running out. And then the Wyatt family come out, and it's just a big brawl at the end. So I thought this was fine. I think I liked the starting of the show, the ending of the show. Cena versus Cesaro, Daniel Bryan versus Christian. And I did like Cesaro, Sheamus versus Orton. It wasn't bad, but it still just kind of felt like an average show. And I just don't like the way they're kind of going about the direction. Oh, I forgot to mention too that Batista and Del Rio did the little thing. I really don't care about that. Batista's just making Del Rio look like a bitch, and then yeah, Batista's just gonna win. Who cares, right? So the Chamber, I'm looking forward to it for some matches. I'm looking forward to just 2 matches really. I am kind of looking forward to the Primetime Players match and the Usos match, but I think they should have waited till Mania. But I think they're gonna do is they're gonna have like a disqualification, and then maybe like the Usos will get them at Mania. So that's pretty much it for this video. After this, but this was the last Raw before the Chamber. Do I think they delivered? Somewhat. They didn't deliver. I think I would have done a little bit better things, but SmackDown is going to be the last one because we're going to get Sheamus versus Christian on SmackDown. But that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.